What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, welcome back to the channel. Going to talk about Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr., the press conference, some observations about that, and then also going to cover the couple fights that took place last night. Omar Figueroa and John Molina, and then the fight with Leo Santa Cruz. Now, before I do that, though, welcome back. Oh, by the way, what I'm going to tell you about Mikey is Mikey, man, look, man, that dude better hope. That dude better hope that he's the faster, more skilled boxer than Errol Spence. Because if he's wrong about that, dude, that dude's going to get ran through. That size difference is big, man. That's a big difference between the height and the length and the size of those two dudes. Before I do that, though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, I hope you would accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. And that way you can be notified when we release more videos. And also when we do our live streams, usually right around 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. It might vary by a few minutes, but right around that time, Monday through Friday. Also, some weekends I do live streams. So I hope you check that out. Also, check out the Patreon page. I got the Jesse Schmullet and Jesse Schmullet coming up. And also a breakdown of Camilla Harris and Cory Booker. Those are the topics that I have them break down on the Patreon page. Now, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence Jr., that fight was getting so much promotion last night, or actually all day yesterday, which was Saturday, Saturday the 16th of February, 2019. They had, it was on, the press conference was right after a college basketball game on Fox. And it was just, they're really, really making a big deal about boxing. And that is a really wonderful thing to see. And you had Jerry Jones was there on a Jumbotron, interviewed on a Jumbotron, talking about how, excited they are to have boxing come to his stadium in Dallas. Now, here's my thing. Looking at Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr., just physically, something really stuck out to me about Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is really looking lean. This is a month to the day out from the fight. And he looks like he's close to making weight already. He looks like he's in good. He looks very lean. Mikey Garcia was an all in black. And you know what they say about black. Black is kind of slimming. So I was really interested in why he decided to wear all black. Maybe if it was an attempt to look more menacing, what it was, but his head just looks so full. Like, not like he is arrogant, but his head looked gigantic, man. It's going to be interesting to see how he carries that weight, man. It's going to be real interesting to see how he carries that weight. But just the size difference between the two, there's a good 5 inches between those guys, man. They say it's listed, I think it's listed at like a 3.5 inch height advantage. It looked closer to 4 or 5 inch height advantage for Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is literally tilting his head down looking at Mikey Garcia. Now, that was the case for Robert Easter as well. And Robert Easter in the beginning of the fight with Mikey Garcia was doing well with the jab because of the length, because of the reach difference between he and Mikey Garcia. Then Mikey Garcia started timing it, started closing the distance, came in, and then he did his thing with Robert Easter. But he did in the beginning of the fight have a little bit of problem with the length of Mikey Garcia. The length of Robert Easter. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do against a southpaw with I think he's just about the same size as Robert Easter, maybe a little shorter than Robert Easter, but reach about the same, maybe a little shorter than Robert Easter. But when you're now dealing with a jab that is really coming and really, can really snap your head back, can really eat your body up. So that Mikey Garcia said that in an interview with Ellie Sethback, right? He said that when the first time he saw Errol Spence Jr. in person was at the press conference where they announced the fight, where they were announcing all of the fights that Fox was going to put on. And he said, then that size difference looked really, really big, right? He's like, man, but then he said he believed he saw him again somewhere else in LA, and the height difference wasn't that great, right? I don't know what he saw, but I saw a big height difference yesterday as well. And just depending on the angle, the height difference looked, more substantial, but than in other angles, but it was a big deal, man. So, excuse me, I got the sniffles. Yeah, man, that size difference is something. It's something fierce. Now, that's why I'm saying, in order for Mikey Garcia that he's kept talking about skills, kept saying, basically thinking that the only thing he had to worry about with Errol Spence Jr. is the size. That's pretty much it, that he had to worry about his size. And Errol Spence Jr. is telling Mikey Garcia that his attributes isn't just his size, that his attribute is his pedigree, it's his ability to box. And he said, Errol Spence said, I don't know what these guys think about me, but if they think that I'm just some kind of come forward, I forget who it was that he compared himself to, but he said, if you just think that I'm just some come forward, just some come forward fighter that can't do anything other than that, hey man, they're in for a surprise because I can box. And I think that's about right, man. I think that's about right. It gets me that how people, and this is no slight to Mikey Garcia, but it just seems like there's this preconceived notion that Mikey Garcia is the smarter fighter than Errol Spence Jr. And if they wind up being wrong about that, that's going to be, the beatdown is going to be absolutely horrendous. When people were training to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr., you would constantly hear before fights were made that you just need to pressure him. You need to pressure Floyd Mayweather Jr. You need to keep throwing punches. You need to keep him busy, right? And then eventually he's not going to be able to deal with the pressure. You heard that fight after fight after fight. Victor Ortiz to Roberto Guerrero to Marcus Maidana, right? Just all you got to do is stay busy and you're going to be able to beat him because he's not active enough. He doesn't throw enough punches. But when people got into the ring with him, they realized that the cat could hit a lot harder than they thought he could. And he was just excellent, really, at shutting down whatever it is that the other person wanted to do. And then proceeding to break him down or win on points. As he got older, it would be more like breaking it down, taking away what they wanted to do, winning the fight, and winning the fights on points. I think that this thing might be the situation with Errol Spence, where everybody just thinks that it is just so easy just to hit him because what do they say? He doesn't move his head, right? He doesn't move your head. He answered a question about that related to Tim Bradley, talking about Tim Bradley when he was like, shoot, I don't move my head. When have you seen me busted up? My eyes busted up, my lips busted up, my face swollen up. I mean, when have you seen that on Errol Spence? What makes it appear to people that he's so easy to hit so often? Man, it's just interesting thing, man, how people just assume that Mikey Garcia is the better fighter and that Errol Spence Jr. just doesn't have any type of skills just because he's running through cats the way he can run through them. But anyway, we'll see. Now, just a quick word on these other fights, man. PBC, like I said, they did a really good job in the fights, in the promotion of the Mikey Garcia Errol Spence Jr. fight. It's good. It's really good to see. I gotta admit that amount of promotion, that amount of talking up a fight that far ahead of time, dedicating that much television time to the promotion of a fight, I think is a terrific thing. Now the boxers, though, the people that were calling that Omar Figueroa fight, though, they were really in love with John Molina Jr. Real in love with John Molina Jr. And I don't know, because I am a fan of Omar Figueroa. I'm a big fan of Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa is one of my favorite fighters to watch. And it's just, for me, I hate the fact that he's so inactive, right? Because of his hand injuries or whatever else he's got going on. But I would see Omar Figueroa land, 3-4 straight rights, a bunch of body shots. And the only thing that commentator would mention was John Molina's right hand. Now, John Molina did hit Omar Figueroa a good amount of times, but still, man, I thought that Omar Figueroa won that fight. I thought he won. I thought that he won, that he landed the most punches. He was the busiest, he landed the most punches, and he landed the most significant punches. Now, the largest number of significant punches. Let me put it that way. Now, John Molina probably had the shots that were, got your attention the most, right? But they were, one around, one around, then there wouldn't be one. Maybe there might be two in another round. It just didn't seem like he did enough to me to win that fight. And, I'm not one to argue about scorecards, so I don't even recall what the scorecards were, other than it was a bit of a wide fight. But I like the outcome. Leo Santa Cruz needs to fight somebody, though. Leo Santa Cruz need to fight somebody. All right? Fight Gary Russell Jr., fight Guillermo Rigondeaux, fight somebody, man. This Carl Frampton, Abner Mares, whoever this other dude is, nonsense, man. Just whatever, man. I want to see Leo Santa Cruz do something, man. Move up in weight, do something. Keeps fighting these little dudes, these cats that are too small to do anything with them, like Abner Mares, like Carl Frampton. To me, it seems like they're too small to do anything to him. I want to see, and if he wants to pick on somebody that's too small, that looks too small, pick on Guillermo Rigondeaux, man. Otherwise, go up to 130, go up to 126, fight Gary Russell Jr., man, so we can see what this cat's really about, man. Personally, I just think he's somebody that's in excellent condition, excellent physical shape, a good fundamental boxer, but nothing particularly special. But anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace.